Ben Johnson is completely changing the culture in Chicago, and the biggest example of this culture change is seen in their rookie wide receiver, Luther Burden. When the Bears took Burden in the second round, naturally people were very excited. You're talking about a really athletic receiver who's phenomenal after the catch with great hands. With his build and skill set, he seemed like the perfect candidate for the Amon-Ra St. Brown role in this Bears offense, but I had one major concern about that thought. The slot or Amon-Ra St. Brown position, or whatever you want to call it in Ben Johnson's offense, is required to block a lot. In fact, they are the primary blocker on a ton of plays. It's Ben Johnson's mantra, make the block, get the rock. He rewards blockers in his offense. And that's where I was a bit worried about this pick because Luther Burden is not a good blocker. He straight up refused to block in college. The offensive line did a great job blocking for the running back. He can now head up the field, and if the receivers stay on their blocks, this can turn into a huge play. Unfortunately for Burden, he just doesn't care. He could not care less about blocking. And this wasn't a one-time issue. It was all over the tape. If he wasn't getting the ball, he gave no effort. Well, the first thing that Ben Johnson must have told him when they first met was that's not going to fly anymore because now he's the most willing blocker I've ever seen. Bears are lined up under center here on the goal line, and they're sending Burden in motion as the primary blocker. They want the ball to hit right behind him. And just look at the block he ends up making. Comes downhill, hits Damar Hamlin, lowers his pads, and he caves in the entire right side of the offensive line, and it's an easy touchdown for 38. And guess what? He made a big-time block on a goal line touchdown run, not once, but twice in this game. I would have never guessed that in a million years. I didn't think blocking was a skill he was ever going to pick up at the next level because of how awful he was at it in college. But Ben Johnson has quickly made him a threat as a blocker. And to really hammer home the point, to really hammer home Ben Johnson's mantra, look at this series of plays. On this first play here, it's just a standard run play by the Bears. Luther Burden at the bottom of the screen goes to block the DB and puts him on his butt. It is a fantastic block by the rookie. And is it a coincidence that the very next play is a play-action rollout to the flat to none other than Luther Burden, who makes someone miss, turns it into a big gain, make the block, get the rock.